synchronizing aeons. You're tuned into the signal. Neon lights in a digital zone. Charts don't matter, we persist forever. No fear, no doubt, no sell-off mind. Aeons aware, we're ahead of time. From whispers on chain to a global wave. Community strong, only the bold stay. Every update, every sign. We decode the now, we define the line. Aeons online, signal is live. SPX6900, we don't just survive. News, events, energy strong. Built by the people, forever long. Aeons online, lock it in. Latest moves, where legend begin. No charge, no fear, no end in sight. Persist forever, Aeons ignite. Persist forever. Aeons. This is Aeons Online. Your early stay synced.
Welcome, guys, to episode 2 of Aeons Online. I'm your host, Jordan Rears. We've got Veryhoodish, and we've also got special guest Shad in the house. But before we talk to them, I'm going to transform into my true self.
Me too, mate.
What the heck? You guys are weird.
What do you guys think of that intro?
Did you I was a little bit
I was
thought
confused.
I was confused. I was like, wait, is this lagging? What is going on?
I'm like, why am I wearing a beanie? I'm not wearing a beanie.
Did everyone just trip out then?
Yeah,
It did trip me out a little bit. Yes, it did.
it confused me.
Yeah,
It
I just
definitely-
spent the last hour doing that, guys. Oh my gosh.
That's
I put
too
way
funny.
too much effort in just for that little bit.
It was pretty funny, at least.
Yeah,
Okay, good. Anyone? Well, maybe I'll tell everyone later. Well, like when we get more people live, but they're gonna come back and watch that intro, man. That's
Yeah, you'll have to really do that separately or something. It was great,
oh my gosh.
just so you can feel like you're salty.
We're Aeons, man. We're angels, right? Oh, that's fun. So how you guys going today?
good. Yeah, good. Early, just watch the soccer. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm doing well. I just got done with work, so I'm happy.
Awesome. I'm going to see if I can manage to share something. Hey, it's working straight up today.
good.
Pretty much.
Good thing to share straight off the bat. That
Oh, I'm trying to get it full screen though, so it's like, just not doing what I did yesterday. Take over the screen. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. Here we go.
That's
That'll
cool.
do it. That'll do it. Here we go, guys. That's faster than last week. But is my video like lagging a little?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. Might just be for me. Alrighty. So, Hoodish, did you want to take this one?
yeah, I don't know if anyone's actually like read this article, but it's incredible. I've shared it to many people. I've read it multiple times. The effort that's put into this article, yeah, I don't know how long it's taken Munchies to do, but I don't know. Makes you realize you're in the right stuff. They spoke about it yesterday on Into the Cognosphere and gave it a little bit of love. And we just wanted to give it a little bit of love as well. And I know Slow was talking about maybe starting to get people to read these articles. And I messaged Slow yesterday and said, you know, if he does the first one or the first couple, I'm happy to help him out reading articles as well. But yeah, this is definitely worth a read, and definitely give this one a little bit of love. Did you read it, Jordan?
I did. I read the whole thing. It's long. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
I have not read the whole thing yet. I've read parts of it. I need to actually sit down and read it. I'm one of those people that do struggle to read long articles, so I would actually love for people to do the audio thing.
Yeah, if
My
someone
attention
plugs
span
it
is
in the
crap.
ears, it's good. You can just yeah, I think it's a great idea. And what you said yesterday about putting it potentially on Spotify as well and iTunes, you know, people commute to and from work. Sometimes it's 10, 12 minutes. Sometimes it's longer. And people would plug it in their ears, I think. And yeah, opportunity there.
Actually, Chad, I got a great question for you. Could you publish? I think pretty much all your videos go to Spotify.
Not the End of the Cognispheres, just the Persist Forever podcast, and I do it a week behind because the YouTube's my main focus. So I want to promote that the most. But
Cool.
yeah, I do a week later. I will publish all the Persist Forevers there, and they do okay. They get about 5% of the total engagement I get on YouTube. But it's enough. Like there's about 20 or 30 dedicated people who watch or listen to it on Spotify, which is a lot in my
Oh,
opinion.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
enough.
So it's like it's a place for people to listen to it outside of YouTube and outside of X and outside of Reddit. It's the more places we can spread out to, it's better for sure.
Absolutely. And the other cool thing with Spotify, if you upload it there, you can it's like just do a quick setup and it'll go directly to like Apple Podcast and an RSS feed. So technically I think it could be streamed anywhere. I haven't looked into it that much, but yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, because I've published a couple albums to Spotify recently, so I understand the
cool.
whole process and stuff now.
Nice.
If you guys had a look at those, they're not SPX related, but I did make the record label, Quantum SPX6900. There's still something there. Like if you go and look at like the record label, it shows SPX6900. But yeah, it's called Quantum Gold is like the band name, and then like Quantum Gold's one of the albums, and then Dream Life is the second album. But yeah, do you guys listen to the music? Do you check it out at all?
I haven't had a chance to look
Not
at
yet.
it. Listen to it.
No, we're good. It's like it's something that no one's ever done before. It's affirmation based music that's actually good music to listen to. Like it's got good beats, but it also reprograms your brain for wealth. It's based around like being healthy, wealthy, peaceful. It's sort of there's nothing. Most songs, you if you listen to most lyrics of most songs, majority of it's quite negative and doesn't have great programming. I'd say like, I don't know, 95% of all music is bad for your brain in terms of programming. Might be good tunes and fun to listen to, but really like if we listen to something, we're consuming it, we should be trying to listen to high vibrational music or something that has a good reprogramming in it, if that makes sense. So I've tried to do something where it's got like good music, but also good for your brain, which is
Cool.
I feel like something that we need. And I think the future of all music is probably going to be uplifting, right? Like I mean, obviously there's like, there's heavy metal and everything, but I think I think we're on a path to ascension, guys. That's what I believe. And speaking of Sunflower Chad, before we get to this article, I just want to chat. And so you're you believe in God, and you're are
Yes.
you Christian or?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. Yes.
Yeah, and I think Hoodish, you are as well. Or
I was
something to that effect.
grew up incredibly religious, and only recently, and I mean like within a couple of weeks, have like started attending via Zoom again. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's cool. Right, yeah, it's funny because I grew up atheist. My mom was like fully like opposite, that no God exists and all this sort of thing. But I always believed in God. I always believed in like the universe, God, whatever name or label you want to give it. And I've had some really, really deep experiences, and we might get onto them later in the episode. Not now. I pulled this tab up myself. I really like this. You guys ever seen Da Vinci before?
Yep.
I saw his video many years ago.
No way, really?
Basically begging the viewers to just buy $1 of Bitcoin because he obviously foresaw the future. It's like just $1, and I think that bought at least one Bitcoin. Maybe it was more back then.
Right. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, like how Audacious is channeling that. I think it's great.
Yeah, I love Audacious. I love his books and you know what he's done.
I love his vibe on his YouTube now. It's amazing.
Yeah, and he's
I'm
set
glad
up
it.
Discord. Yep.
Yeah, the Discord. I'm so glad he's not just doing like I think it's. I know if you don't want to dox, a lot of people just do audio. I think it's cool that he's like wearing a mask and it's a bit more personable, even though he's not doxed, which I think is cool.
Yeah, yeah, and it's cool to have you know we've got so many different types of people into SPX 1600, and that's what I think is
Yeah.
great. And like I know he disappeared for a little while last year, and he's come back super strong. He disappeared off X, but I think he was more on Reddit, so he's always around, and he's a you know full true believer.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's what inspired me to write my book, which I've got in the back there somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know, there's going to be many more books written on SPX 1600 for sure.
I actually had a thought about a book. I don't know if you've seen his articles. S&P 500 to zero has written. He's starting to write them. He's written about 2 different companies. So it's like an expose on each company and like how they have shady practices and kind of going into the weeds of it of each company, which I think is interesting. I think if he's able to actually do 500 articles on every single company, which I think he can eventually, it would be cool if he like compiled that into a book and maybe stitched it together with some other writings. And I think that'd be neat if and then you know embed SPX 6900 in some way into the book. I think that'd be really interesting.
Agree.
It's just a yeah.
Awesome. I'm just checking the live chat here. We've got a few people in live chat on YouTube and X as well. We've got Saucy, Raiden, Raw Money, Aeon Beggar, and yeah, that's
Aeon
live chat.
The beggar. Damn right.
Aeon Beggar is back.
Is that the one that Hype was talking about yesterday? How he's like got the smooth microphone?
Oh, so smooth. He's been floating around on spaces, begging well, doing well.
I thought
Yeah.
that was hype. But I didn't hear his voice. I didn't know it wasn't. I thought that was hype trolling, but apparently it's not. It's somebody else.
What was he saying? It could be SPX Trump. I was losing it when he was mentioning SPX Trump and explaining the backstory. I just thought that was hilarious.
Oh yeah, that was great. SPX Trump. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We need more trolls. I love the idea of there being like dedicated trolls. I think it's funny.
Yeah, true.
Do you
I have a friend who could do it.
This,
Good job.
Was it the post specifically? The
The one I sent you. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
He's shouting out. So it's Seb shouting out Raoul Pal. And if anyone hasn't seen that, that's definitely worth a watch as well. So we try and send that everywhere, as that's going to get in front of his eyes. I think Seb said he was blocked by him.
of course.
Oh.
So yeah, the guy watches things on X a lot though. So, and he does engage with everyday people. So it's definitely worth just like, reposting, quoting that as much as possible.
Well, I can see Raoul Paul's post got 55,000 views and Mike got 5,000. So that's not bad. That's 10% of the people actually saw this post. That's a pretty high percentage.
And he's very much aware of SPX for sure.
You guys seen that picture? A couple of the Aeons. I can't remember where they're from. They got the Raoul Paul.
Oh yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's literally famous.
Is that that's on your store, right?
You can grab on SPX1600gear.com.
That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. If you do come across that post, reshare it as much as possible on whatever platform, because that guy's a big deal in this space, and he starts talking, people start listening. I've been watching him for ages.
I'm gonna jump out of the. Will this do it? Yeah. Oh, okay. It takes a tab. Okay, that's fine. I'll just jump back here for a second. Chad, I want to ask you, how did you find SPX 1600? Because you're always interviewing everyone, and I don't know if you've been interviewed.
Well, it was definitely I was aware of Murad. He got on my radar at the beginning, or like I don't know, April of 2024 or something like that. So I was following him. He was getting interested in meme coins at the time, and I was kind of keeping track of his list, um, and so I was following that. And what was interesting is a lot of the coins he was talking about I already owned, so that kind of made me think, okay, well, maybe there's something to the ones I own. And then when he finally mentioned SPX, I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy a little bit because it's on his list, and it sounded interesting. I didn't look into it too much at the time. That was like September, I think, of 2024. But over time, I remember I made a post about it. Like right when I bought it. I was like, hey, I bought some SPX 1600. They're trying to flip the stock market. I've never heard anything so retarded in my life. That was my post. And I got rated like crazy. And Murad reposted it too, which was kind of cool. And he said something on it. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, okay, well, that's interesting. They really are. They're really trying. I could tell that much at least. So then, just over time, the more I engaged with it, the more it's kind of like a lot of people. The more you engage with it, the more you realize, okay, the community is pretty crazy. So, and eventually, it just took over. It just took over my mind in terms of the coins I owned, and then I just like suddenly was like, I don't care about the other stuff anymore, and just dedicated myself to this. And I started the channel and so on. So just over time, it grew. But yeah, technically, the first time I heard of it was in September, or I put it on the list.
What was the price in September? That was before it ran up, right?
I bought my first buy was at 30 million, I think.
So wow, that's pretty early. Yeah, but it was only a month after that it blew up to 600 mil.
Right. And I bought more and more, but I didn't put that much in at 30 million. It was like I didn't really understand it. I was just like, I'll buy a little bit. I had no expectations, so unfortunately,
no, I saw it. I think around 10 mil. I saw it really early, and I just I didn't understand it at all, and I just didn't get it. And I think I even went to the website, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I was like, "This is stupid," and I just left. And I feel so silly now.
Well, I mean, it takes time. That's the SPX is a slow cook, a slow burn. Like, because I was like, first time hearing it, you might be like, "What?"
It does like take some of that power from the S&P 500 though, because I was like, oh, I know the S&P 500. I'll like, what's this thing? It's like it looks similar and it's got a bigger number. Like I probably spent like 5-10 minutes on it. Back when a lot of projects actually did well.
Sure.
You would go through and you'd study a lot of different tokens.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
Because they actually, but now it's a different game because of pump fund and everything. Now it's like there's a handful that are going to do well, and that's it. Like,
and the liquidity is, the general market sucks. I mean, at the time the market was raging and everything was pumping. It was just nuts. So that is one of the reasons why I think it was less. There were just so many things that were pumping, and in your head you're like, I don't even know what to choose, and now it's become very clear because liquidity sucks and SPX is still hanging tight. I mean, it's just now that the tide has come out, we know who's doing well and who's not. So it's much more clear now.
Yeah, 100%. And how did you get into crypto before
that? So in 2021, that was the first time I heard about Bitcoin back in 2013, actually, when it ran up to like $1,000 or whatever it hit at the time. For like a second, and then it crashed, of course. And I remember kind of studying it. I remember learning about the Silk Road as well, and learning about how it's being used, like what's the kind of the thesis. And I just thought it was too revolutionary of an idea for me to embrace. I was just like, this is just, to me, it was, I was one of the, I really bought into the government's going to shut this down. It's not going to work. There's just no way. That was kind of my mindset. And then in 2017, it popped back in my radar when it did really well. I was like, what? And that kind of blew my mind. Then the mining FUD is what got me then. Oh, yeah, it's terrible for the environment. Blah, blah, blah. And then in 2021, it did well. And I finally said, okay, I have to actually study this. Mm-hmm. So then I studied it and really went down the Bitcoin rabbit hole big time. Watched about every podcast imaginable on it. Sailor got me really bullish. He was like,
Sailor's amazing. He's amazing.
Sailor is amazing, and
he's really good talking.
made me so bullish. And then, yeah, I DCA'd Bitcoin all the way through. I got into Solana as well. I DCA'd that. Those were my two main things. I guess.
Yeah, I
last
heard about your
cycle.
Solana buys. I'm very jealous.
No, I'm very grateful for that, and I still have some. And I still have some staked. And actually, what's cool is I use the staking rewards to buy SPX, which is kind of cool.
Oh, that is cool. Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. So I still like to have it because it's like I have sentimental value to it. But
I think Solana, I think Solana might be. I'm not gonna say the word dead, but I don't think it's gonna do what it used to do now because of what's happened to meme coins. Maybe if a lot of liquidity comes back, but and also Ethereum fees have come down so much now. Ethereum's actually
Ethereum fees are much better. Yeah,
it's actually good. Like it's actually affordable to do a normal transaction now. I do remember when the fees pumped up to over $1,000 per transaction. It was nuts.
yeah. I don't have a strong opinion on Solana and how it will do compared to other things. I think it'll do decent just because I think it's it's still a lot of use is still on it, but I don't really have a strong opinion. I just have some because I'll have it staked, and I just told myself I'd always keep that amount staked.
Yeah, no, fair
you know?
enough. It's
So it's just
solid.
like
It's a solid one. Like it's a top
right.
10.
Yeah, it's not a polka dot
No.
or Osmos that have just totally died, unfortunately for those. But
Yeah, it's sad when that happens. Like a lot of
it does.
major tokens and things don't always last.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if you're buying polka dot now, then you really need to think about that. But but then that's basically and then I got into meme coins through Solana. I bought Bonk early, and I
Nice.
just went through the whole meme coin craze, and then it led me to SPX. That's pretty much the story.
Were you ever like a hardcore raider for a token? Like was there one
Yes.
token you went for?
Yes.
Yeah. So you understood
Several.
the raiding culture because same thing
Uh-huh.
before I found SPX. I spent like a year on another token, and I understood how hard it is to keep people raiding all the time. Like that's
Yep.
like we had to like incentivize people and like pay
Yep.
them and like just constantly like badger everyone to keep raiding. And it was
It
like
was
a day.
awful, yeah.
It was a daily grind. And like I remember at the end there was like 2 guys doing it and me, and I was like, this is not going to work. And I saw
It's
SPX.
dead though.
Yeah, because there's only a few people that really actually
Right.
believed in it. Whereas I saw of SPX, there was literally hundreds, and that was over a year ago, and now there's thousands that daily put their heart and soul into it, and that's something that literally can't be bought. I know this because of the rating, because of that other token.
Yes.
It really helped me understand what it takes to make a community and a token good, and this has that big momentum that 99.9% of all tokens will never ever get to this momentum level. And I actually think it's like the #1 community that's ever existed in terms of meme coins.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I was into Doge early as well. I bought Doge at like 3 cents.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
Maybe even earlier. And but I also didn't believe in meme coins back then, so it was just a trade. And
Sure.
it did a 3x, and I sold it, and then it did 150x or whatever. With the big run up. So it was
Yeah. I feel like if Doge can't be pumped by Elon and Trump naming a department of the government Doge and that whole thing, and it barely pumped, I don't see how it's not dead at this point just because of that.
Yeah, I mean it's got a lot of diamond hands, I guess, because it's still holding. Like it holds up pretty well, but it doesn't.
That's
really move.
true.
Yeah, it doesn't move much, but
Yeah.
I guess it's just it's probably fairly well distributed these days.
I should say it's dead. I should say I don't think it's got big growth potential anymore.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well,
Let me rephrase that.
The reason I actually sold it was because there's 10 wallets that held 80% of the supply back in 2020 or 2021. Yeah, there was just 10 wallets that had almost all of it. So
I have no backstory.
I was like, if any one of those 10 wallets dump, the token's dead, right? And so. And that's why I got my friend to get out of it right before it did like the 100x, and I feel so bad because he had like $20,000 in it. So
you're like, sell. You need to sell.
Yeah, that would have been like life-changing money for him. So I feel so bad.
I would hate you forever, Jordan.
Yeah, I know.
100x with 20k on the line.
Yeah. I was like, and
he would have sold when it doubled. Don't worry, he would have sold when it doubled.
Yeah, no, he made money on it. He definitely made money on it, but it was.
Takes a step.
I was trying to save him, right? I was trying to save him. But now I understand meme coins. Like after that, I was like, oh, hang on, and I dig more. But like SPX is like the best version of all the meme coins because it has like we're about to hit 80% now. Diamond hands. We're about to hit 80%, but it's not 80% in 10 wallets. It's 80% in 200,000 wallets, and the distribution is almost the very highest level you can get with any token.
I believe y'all shared that chart. I think we did too with that Matt Beck did with the
Distribution. Distribution.
Yes, we're doing better than Bitcoin at this age, at the age it's at. So
I mean, yeah.
incredible.
There's literally nothing. There's nothing really beats it in metrics, which is pretty. That's pretty insane. It's pretty. Makes me way too bullish.
I got a question.
Yes.
With remember when we're talking like peak conditions when Trump gets in or just before, and before he launched Trump Coin. Do you remember what Trump Coin went to?
So it depends what you want to talk about. It went to in terms of its
Just
full
price.
diluted value, or it's
yeah.
Or if its full diluted value was 80 billion, but it really was at
Correct.
12 billion because it only had 20% supply out.
So
it went to 12 billion in one day.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lesson in that as well. Like during, euphoria, coins just pump, even if they're shitters, they just pump.
Yep.
So you have to kind of like look at that when a community is building as organic as we are. And there are people, like you said, thousands of people every day rating, people who practice DCA, people are now getting on YouTube and all sorts of things people are doing. During euphoria, what does that look like? If
exactly.
You're making me too bullish, man. You're making me too bullish.
That's got to be the like at least in your mind. I'm not saying that's your mindset, but
what you just made me think about is that Trump token launched with 20% supply, right? So 80% was locked up, 20% was out. It went to full diluted value was 80 billion.
Correct.
We're 20%. That's basically unlocked, right? Because the rest is close enough diamond hands at the moment.
Yes.
So we could actually do 80 billion in a day.
Well, not that I'm ever like saying
what not financial advice
in regards to price, but like my point, I guess, is it can be negative during this time. Like we're in essentially choppy waters, bear market conditions, whether we're bullish or not. It's just the reality. And so like to stay sort of like have that optimism, you have to look at what's happened in the past, in like the past euphoria. And that has been so significant. And that's a pump fund shitter just because the president launched it that got sent hard as in like one day. And then the next day they bring out Melania or 2 days later. And then there's a Baron Trump coin. And then, my point is like there were $300 million runners every day. And right now there is no liquidity in this market at all. So just keep that in the forefront of your mind that things can reverse just as quick as they have become bad. They can go the other way. So if you're feeling that little bit of like sadness and despair, just know that you are in the right community. It's organically growing. All the metrics say it's a winner. And so just practice keep those good disciplines, those good practices up because you will be rewarded. It's just a matter of when. And we don't know when.
I think we're potentially the only token that actually had 3 all-time highs last year, like 3 distinct all-time highs.
Yeah.
I don't think even Bitcoin did that. I think they got 2 all-time highs last year.
Remember, Bitcoin did the 2, and I think we did the 3. Yeah.
So I think that potentially is a unique metric that no one's even noticed, and that just shows that when the market turns, we do well. Do you want to take this this post footage or?
No, you go for it. You go for it. That's fine.
Right. So this is Maddox's post from this is from like about a week ago. 14,000 views. Not bad. Special
post though. Do read it. It's worth reading again. It just keeps the energy going. And like this person's putting $1,000 in a day. What an example. Like doesn't matter what your DCA, whether it's $1, whether it's $1,000, whatever. The point is that you do it and you do it every day. And yeah, I know there's a lot of conversation around whether to post DCA posts or whatever. Like I don't care about that as such. But if you're going to post, you're going to post. If you're not, you're not. But I think
I like this part of it. Have a heart-to-heart conversation
correct.
with
Yep.
your besties. You got to let them know.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
this is the only coin with that going on.
I've
I
let
got another-
everyone know, and most of my best friends have got a bag, at least like $1,000 or so.
There's no coin where people are telling their best friends and their family members at these prices in this market right now.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
SPX
yeah.
is doing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Like everybody will do that during the good times, but during the bad times, there's maybe Bitcoin a little bit. That's about it. People, it's like shame to talk about it, and everybody's talking about SPX. It's just really, that says something to me.
Well, one of my good friends put in $80,000, so he's
Yeah.
Nice.
he went hard, and
Nice.
he saw the gains quickly when it pumped, and then he also is now dealing with the down at the moment, and he's still strong, still going strong.
Got
It's really interesting because he also said he's been telling tons of people this guy's like a true Aeon. He's spreading it, but he's offline. He's a mechanic. He's fully offline. Like he
I
doesn't.
love that.
He's telling like his neighbors and like his friends, his family and stuff. He said one of
It's
his
honestly
neighbors-
probably the most important people, really, because
Yeah.
those one-on-one conversations have a much better conversion rate, if you know what I mean. Than
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
No.
I think people that are off the grid a little bit too, they resonate with this mission more than most. Like, yeah, it is
That's awesome.
it's important. Yeah, but that Maddox post, solid, very solid post.
Yes, 100%. I was gonna say, I don't know what else to say. Maddox is he's a man. Love Maddox. And,
I like it when I can DCA a Maddox. That's a good DCA day.
and
Yeah.
this is a great picture. I really like
No.
this picture. Is it gonna come up? Oh, it does. Cool. That picture is really all you need to know because it's pretty obvious. It's
Yeah.
pretty obvious.
Sick.
Also,
the mosaics even grown even more, but yeah,
they're
sorry.
massive. They just look like little minor dots. But
Yeah, it's absurd. Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Jordan, can you bring that post back up for a second? That last one.
The picture.
Yeah, man.
Mm.
So when Bitcoin came out, we were heading into a digital age, right? But we weren't there yet. There weren't people jumping on often calls like this or making YouTube like this about things that they like. We are now in a digital age. So it's never been more important to use those tools. Like if you look at the Bitcoin conferences they used to have, they may have streamed it, but it would have looked terrible. There wouldn't have been many people watching it. X maybe wasn't as prevalent. Facebook was more the number one driver, and a lot of people that were on there didn't give two shits about crypto. So we are in a digital age right now. So it is important to use these tools more often than not. Yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. Just keep remembering we are in a digital age. That's why we can do these cool things we're doing right now, and they're incredibly important, especially if you want to grow something and get it in front of as many people's eyes as possible.
Agreed.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is this is going to be 10 times faster and 10 times bigger than Bitcoin. Got it.
Correct.
Got
It
it.
can. Yes.
I think the growth rate will definitely be bigger. I don't know if it's definitely the growth rate for sure, and the speed in which it will become big.
The speed.
Does anyone
Yes.
Does anyone have stats on the diamond hands of Bitcoin? Because I don't think they had this many diamond hands, ever. I don't know if they've ever.
Based
had
off of
80%.
Matt Beck's chart, they were less diamond handed at this point.
Yeah, so he's looking at the 1 year chart of diamond hands, but I'm obviously I mostly look at the 90 days, which is not as, I guess it's not as good a metric as 1 year, but it's also, I don't think Bitcoin ever really had 80% diamond hands. I think it's always been a lot of people selling. If you look, a lot of retail have been selling, and then a lot of corporations and stuff have been buying over the last few years. It's just been
as of late, yeah, for sure.
It's been handing off. Like retail have just been handing their Bitcoin off way too cheap. So
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, back in the day, Jordan, you can either hold Bitcoin or you can sell it for pizza.
Yes.
Or
Or
coffee.
you could buy drugs online. I know this.
Yeah.
because
That was a big use case for sure.
Drugs,
yeah, one of
guns,
my friends did that.
yeah, drugs, guns, black market issues, or Domino's pizza and coffee.
We better stop saying these words so we don't get out this
fair.
video flagged as well. So yeah, I wanted to say we touched on it earlier, but basically the video that we got taken off last week, they actually I appealed it and they said yes, there's nothing wrong with the video. So they allowed that intro to go on, but the rest of the video is already stopped. They'd stopped the live stream. So we only got 2 minutes of it on YouTube. Obviously, I upload the whole video anyway, but that's in the videos tab, not in the live tab now. So I've left the 2-minute intro there in live just so you have a history of our very first video.
Well, at least it's not like a strike against you. At least.
Yeah. It was a warning. And then I appealed it because like, nah, there's no way. I rewatched it, but because it was animated, I think it was like a real person with guns and stuff. Maybe it would be a big problem. But yeah, it was our first live stream, and they're obviously being super careful.
Maybe that's why. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yes, we're all good now. They basically said it was their mistake, so that's cool.
Nice.
And yeah, so I'll go back to the other tab I had. We got Matt Beck. I think you guys were just talking about him.
Yeah, he's been posting a lot lately.
You can see I've seen this one already.
What's that? Sorry.
Oh, you can see I've already seen this one. I got my likes and my retweet. But yeah, basically hold DCA how do you say that word?
Evangelize.
Genuinely explicit dailies. Yeah, have fun, make friends, be creative, authentic, put yourself out there, set individual goals, set group goals, find hobbies of other Aeons. Don't take yourself too seriously, but stay disciplined in what you set out to do. You'll be surprised what comes from consistently applied approach. It's true. Like I think Aeons, anyone who's even starting to become an Aeon, you'll definitely become more persistent. Like it just naturally happens when you get to SPX6900. How many people have now started losing weight? They've gone to SPX6900.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's contagious.
Positive it is.
Stuff is really contagious. I would also say, like, just basically what Matt's saying is, do all the things we're doing, but also make connections. Like that's what it is. That's what this is about. Making connections important. I've got connections with both you guys. There are, 10, 12 people I speak to regularly now. And I'm sure every person in this community has their group of people they speak to daily, which is really cool. Like, sometimes you just come across a tweet where you've got Chang and Hype just going back and forth. And I might not understand that, but that's funny, right? So exactly. They've got their connection, their homies online, their friends. And that's what it's all about. That's what's going to keep you here as well during the choppy waters. So it's like, I guess the amount of times I've said lean on your community, that is what that is. Like, that's your connections, that's your community. So make connections.
For sure.
What's crazy is, I'm sure you guys might understand this as well. I feel closer to some of the Aeons than I do my friends from school. Like we've got more interests, we've got more connection, and we've got more of the same mission. And you probably notice, like a lot of school friends, they just go about life. I'm not going to say like NPCs, but they don't necessarily want to break. They don't necessarily want to break out of their day jobs, right? And I think almost every single person at SPX6900 understands the Matrix trap, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, we're all guilty of being an NPC at times. I am, and not as much anymore. Go on, Chad.
Yeah. I enjoy being an NPC from time to time. It's good to turn your brain off for a while. But I will say, I do agree that the people in this community are definitely very, very interesting people. So you can make those connections much better. And it's I think actually during the interview I did with Ilya, he said you found your tribe, is what he said, which I thought was really true. You found your people, I think is specifically what he said.
It's powerful, man. Like it's so powerful. Like the people in the community. And I don't know, I've always been an optimist, and I feel like SPX600 has like a high amount of optimists. I think there's not too many pessimists. I think pessimists would get put off by all the positive stuff, and they just can't handle it. So I think there's some realists. Pardon? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely some realists too. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
I think realists can definitely, that makes sense too, because they want to break free and they understand the conditions. But then optimists, they want everything to be pretty positive, but then pessimists, they get off on things going badly. So I don't think that's great in SPX.
They tend to get rooted out or they change. I've seen a lot of people change.
Yeah. People can transform. People can change all the time. Like there's no. Do you guys believe in like quantum physics? Like we're always jumping through multiple realities at any one time.
I don't know anything about it. I've heard these terms. They go.
Yeah. Well,
are we talking like Interstellar? Is this what we mean?
Yeah, Interstellar,
Okay.
Doctor Strange, like any of those.
Okay.
We literally live in a soup of realities of like they can prove it now of science that like nothing is solid. Solid matter is 99.9% empty space. We're constantly jumping through different dimensions every sec. I've heard the stat is every second there's a billion realities we're moving through every second. So that's how many different it's a lot. There's a lot of and that's also why things can change really quickly when we put ourselves in the right state of being.
I think it's definitely I think it's a cool idea. I don't understand it, but it definitely could be true. I just
tell me, Chad, have you had any extra experiences that are sort of outside of this realm? Outside of this?
I mean, I think my relationship with God is definitely falls into that category. I've had life-changing experiences several times, and then I've fallen away from it too. Just because your life changes doesn't mean you can't go back.
100%. Yeah, for sure.
I've definitely done that, and but you can always change again. So it's tough. In 2014 I had a really bad experience, and that transformed me in a big way. I think I was a very super judgmental person prior to that, and then due to that experience, it changed me and made me not judgmental. And I still was not maybe backtrack again. I was a Christian, but I was in more like a fundamentalist kind of closed-minded Christianity version of it.
Yep.
And then I became an atheist, and then I had this life-changing experience, and I was still an atheist, but over time it led me back to Christianity in a more reasonable form of it. And,
yes.
And I became I was actually a better person than when I was a Christian before. I don't even know if I was, but it was a very extreme form.
Yeah, because I agree. I've got an older brother that has recently become like a born again Christian, but he's got sort of that closed off mindset that this is the only way, and you can't talk to him about anything else, because he's sort of said, everything else is the devil and everything else is bad. And
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's an ego. It's actually just you could call it a spiritual ego or whatever, and it's closing him off to so many different things. It's unfortunate.
I don't take blame for any of it, because I was raised and I was brainwashed essentially.
Oh, so for sure.
I don't blame myself on that one, because that's just how I was raised. But it was definitely a transformation to get out of that mindset, because it's a very fear-based mindset, which is not good.
Yeah, 100%. Anything that's being ruled by fear that's not true, because the true reality is to be more loving and to be based around loving systems and systems that are supporting, not forcing you to do things through fear. I feel like that's the old paradigm. I feel like we're going to like this golden age now, where it's more based around freedom, love. You guys can see around the world, we've had riots all around the world of people literally saying, no, we're not going to take it anymore, taking down governments. Literally, some of them are very peaceful too, peaceful protests, but they're changing the government, they're taking down. I feel like that's going to keep happening over the next 10, 20 years. There's going to be massive transformations around the whole world, because the level of consciousness is raising. People are becoming more aware. The internet is actually helping with this in a good way. And anybody waking up and becoming more aware of everything is really good for SPX6900 as well. So it goes hand in hand, because as people wake up, they want to question everything. And then they eventually find out the financial system is a giant Ponzi scheme that we've been brought up into, where every year they basically weaken and lower your buying power of the dollar. So it all connects together. It's all connected.
And the terrible thing we talked about yesterday was like the housing crisis and how much houses are costing. Y'all talked about this last week to a degree.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I got the numbers wrong. I'll just correct everyone for the numbers. I looked it up, and it was $1 million for the average house in Australia, not 800,000. And
is that $1 million US or $1 million Australian dollars?
$1 million Australian.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then it was 400,000 Australian for US house.
That's
So,
horrible. That's
so
crazy.
I had the numbers at 300 and 800. So I pretty much had like old stats from
You
like,
had but you had the proportions about right.
yeah, I had the portions pretty similar. But yeah, it's go on, Chad. What are you gonna
That's
say?
wild. I was just gonna say to me the housing crisis is manufactured, and that's to me it's manufactured to keep the Ponzi up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
So because the supply is the issue, you have to increase the supply. You have to allow people to build. You have to. It's the regulations that's choking people off. It's such a pain in the ass to do something, basically. And then and the more regulated it is, the worse the housing crisis is. California is very regulated. It has some of the worst housing prices, even relative to their income. Sure, they have more income, but even still, it's still worse there. Which makes no sense that this massive state with all this beautiful land, and it's just a travesty that they won't let people just build shit and not have absurd regulations and all this. But even in South Carolina, which is more lax and the housing is better, even here it's still a pain in the butt. So I think it's all manufactured. Because if you think about it, houses are technically limitless. I mean, there is no real supply cap to that. There is work that has to be put into it, and that is certainly a cap. But there's no reason for there to be a housing crisis to the degree there is right now. There's just no reason for it, even with inflation.
They can actually print houses now as well. Like there's a lot of different printing companies that are printing houses. Houses actually will become super cheap. Like
if the governments allow it. That's why I'm saying I think it's manufactured to a large extent.
Yeah.
Depends
Well,
faith in the
they have
government.
to eventually. By the way, we have over 1,200 people watching. Just letting you guys know.
Awesome.
Wow, that's crazy.
They've all jumped on your stream, Hoodish, because you shared it. I actually didn't even get a chance to do an X post.
Oh, God.
So you got 1,100, and I've got 110. So combined, we're just over 1,200. Last week we had about 2,000. So it's pretty exciting.
It's pretty cool.
I haven't checked YouTube either, so I had another 100 or so there.
Jordan, a question then. So do you trust where the government's going in regards to houses, or do you just no trust in them whatsoever?
So my belief system is probably quite different to most people, because I believe we create our reality through our vibe.
Okay.
In terms of, because we're going through billions of realities at any second, we create our reality in completely, which means that not saying I control everything, but saying that I take responsibility for everything. So in a way, the government is me. The government is all of us. And if we can change ourselves enough, the government will change with us. I don't know, it sounds insane and crazy, but that's the way quantum physics works, is everything is changed by observation. And every particle affects every other particle. And so I believe if I evolve enough, then the government will also evolve. And obviously that works as a collective as well. So as we all raise our vibe up and we all want different things collectively, that'll tie in to other people getting the government that we want anyway. And so I feel like over time, the government's going to get better and better and better.
I hope you're right.
What do you think, Chad, about your government right now? What do you think in regards? Do you put any faith or trust in the systems, or are they outdated systems?
No, I don't put any faith in the government. It's all hopium, and it's really. I was thinking about it the other day. It's like the left promises stuff and shit and
for free
things.
Yeah.
The right promises less government and less control. In reality, they do neither, and they just pretend. It's all pretend. They all work together.
That's pretty much the thing, right?
I'm kind of black-pilled on it, to be honest. I hate to say it, but I do hope it does change.
I'm not saying that things don't have to fall apart first. So
I hope you're right. I like that you're optimistic. I don't know how it'll go in the future. I think it can get better. I think there's definitely a world where it does get better. For sure. And
well, then I think
changing people's lives is definitely the way to do it. So
in that case, we need to be in the center of the storm, right? Because there's a storm. We have to be in the center of the eye of the storm, the eye of the needle. So if you can stay in your happy place almost, then over time things will get better, because you're staying in a high vibrational state. I don't know if you guys believe in vibration.
I think not obsessing over it is important. I don't obsess. I don't even think about it. It's not something. Whenever I talk about it, I'm passionate about it, but it's not something I think about on a day-to-day basis.
That's good, because you give energy to what you think about. So if you think about positive things, you're giving more energy to positive things. And those things
I just think about I think about what I can do. That's what I think about. and I can't affect the federal government. I can vote, but I mean, that's just one. That's not really that big of an impact. So
have you seen the studies they've done of meditation, where literally they've done peaceful meditations on a day of war, and somehow that war stops for that day in a different country. So our energy literally affects the whole of the cognosphere, you could say. So in that way, you might think that you're disempowered, but actually you're completely empowered. And if enough people believe that, we can very quickly overnight, if enough people woke up overnight, we would completely fix a lot of things. Yeah, physically, there's going to be a time period for us to rebuild, especially if, something gets blown up or whatever. And people still have to deal with traumas. There's still lots of things to deal with. But literally, wars have been stopped by the level of consciousness being raised through meditation.
I do believe in the power of prayer, which I think we're kind of getting to the same.
That's the same thing, yeah. Prayer is the same thing.
I do believe in that power. There's not a lot of us, is what I'm saying. We're kind of.
I think the number is growing. Yeah.
Have you? The 100 I love your optimism. That's where I feel like
the 100 monkey. The 100 monkey test. Whatever, 100. When 100 monkeys learn something on one island, other monkeys that are on a completely separate island start doing the same behavior. They've learned it collectively. You seen that?
I haven't heard of
science experiment. They teach like 100 monkeys how to use a tool or something like that. The other 100 monkeys couldn't do it at all, but they're on a different island. Now suddenly they can start doing it without actually interacting. So, but that's why if you think around the world, inventions get invented in completely different countries hundreds of years ago when there was no way for them to fly over. But at the exact same, within like a day or two of each other. Same thing as like when the 4 mile was broken, right? The 4 minute mile, when one person ran it, and then suddenly a few weeks later everybody's running it. It's sort of like the 100 monkey thing it's a real thing, and I think that's also happening with consciousness. So we don't need everybody to wake up. I've heard the number 144,000. 144,000 people on Earth is a high enough level that the spirals up instead of down. I've heard we're already there. So
wow.
I think everything's going to be good. We just need to stay, like I said, in our center, in our place, just in the flow, really. Like it's as simple as that. If you guys can flow, then life's super easy. I'm sure you've noticed this, Hoodish, as well. You're in the flow these days. Your life's going well.
It's funny you mentioned 144,000 actually, because that's a very religious term.
Yep. Yeah.
That one.
That's because there's a lot of truth in religion. A lot of truth.
Yeah. That's just interesting. I believe that religion aside or whatever, that a collective belief from a bunch of people can be very powerful. Like, I don't know whether that's connected, disconnected. I don't know where I fall in I'll just use the word, no disrespect, but woo-woo side of things.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, no disrespect. I know a lot of people really believe in the spiritual side of things and leveling up and stuff. But I mean, I've had a mushroom experience multiple times, and I think what happened in my brain was interesting to me. When I reflect upon it, I can remember, these things. One was bad, one was good.
Tell me the good one. Tell me the
light and dark. The good one was just like waves of energy, and I just went surrendered to it. Felt like
it was like you're on a roller coaster. You're on a ride. Basically.
Yeah, it was like that, but I felt like my reality didn't change as much. But my first experience was just dreadful. Like, to this day is the worst experience I think I've probably ever had. It was like a dream I could not wake up from. It was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay. I'll give you. I've had a contrast like that very much, and I think we get shown these contrasts on purpose.
Yeah.
I once accidentally meditated and left my body. First place I got taken was hell.
Yeah, I've heard of this happening. We meditate,
and it was super scary, and there was like entities, and it was literally a hell realm. And when you're out of your body, there's no such thing as time. And I had to be shown this so that when I went up to like the higher realms, like the pure light, love, bliss, you can call it heaven, whatever you like. I had the contrast now. I just went down to the very lowest, now I went to like the very highest.
Yeah.
And I think that's obviously why you had that experience with the mushrooms as well, because you had to be shown the low so you could appreciate the high as well. Yeah. And that's why we're here, right? Earth is a duality. We're in this weird place. We've got day and night, white and black, hot and cold.
Yeah.
I've heard high level beings, right? You could say aliens or angels or whatever, all these different high level beings. They look at us, and a lot of them are actually very jealous because they can't actually experience jealousy, but they're very envious in terms that they can't experience lows and darkness. So they think we're crazy humans being on Earth and having this very, very wild polarity experience because we have these darkness, we can have these really highs. So imagine if you're in a high vibration all the time, you wouldn't experience a low.
Yeah.
You can't.
Well,
So
it's
therefore
like,
your contrast ratio is not as big.
yeah,
So technically,
you can like liken that to anything. That's like being born into wealth and not understanding
Yep.
the world.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
yeah, so you wouldn't have as high a contrast.
No. Yeah.
You wouldn't appreciate things as much necessarily. You could still appreciate things, but you just wouldn't have that contrast experience.
For sure.
So, I mean, I grew up poor, and I think you said you were sort of similar.
Yeah.
Chad, what did you grow up like? Were you middle class?
I wouldn't say I was poor, but I would say I was lower middle is what I would say.
Yeah.
That's where
I was lower middle. Like I was just in that threshold there. You know, we're on government payments for a while, and like, you know, I was in flats and apartments, and like, you know, I remember 2 a.m. in the morning, the person who lived above us would like pee on the toilet, and it was like above my room. I could hear it. I was like, that's when I knew, like, I felt like we were poor, because like literally hearing someone pee on your head when you're trying to sleep is not nice.
Yeah,
I'm sure some people can resonate with that.
So I was poor. I was poor in a different way. I lived out in the country, on the rural area. I was in a
so
trailer.
yours is like a separation of.
But at least I was like out.
Yeah.
I didn't have to deal with apartments and things.
Man, I would have loved that though, because you had like a lot of quietness and like.
Yeah. It was. I had a great childhood. It was a great childhood. We weren't materially rich or anything, but it didn't matter. So
Yeah. You obviously had probably a lot of time in nature and stuff like that, which is really good.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
I'd say the same thing. My parents, they tried their ass off. I love my mum and dad, and if they're watching, they gave a shit and they tried hard to like provide for me and my sister. But yeah, it just is what it is. Like, we didn't grow up like wealthy or whatever. And
yeah.
But
now you guys will appreciate money
Right.
a lot more than some people would.
It was kind of interesting. Like, we didn't do well. My parents struggled, and then about when I was about 15, which I was a little later, you know, I wasn't growing up. My dad got a really good something in the business improved drastically, so they started making more money. So things are there. I would say we were lower middle. Now I'd say they're actually upper middle because of that. But I didn't grow up that way necessarily. But anyways, they're doing very well, and I'm glad they're my parents and everything. So
yeah,
I actually have to leave, guys. I'm sorry.
No, all good, man. Appreciate you coming on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you inviting me. It was great,
Really
dude.
fun.
Y'all keep it up. I like the way the show's going. I'll watch the rest later.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks,
Take
I
care.
really appreciate you coming.
Y'all have a good one. See you.
See you, dude.
See ya. Bye. Sweet. Now, so we'll get back to these tabs.
Yeah.
That was a fun conversation, though. That was fun. I think it's important to not just talk about crypto only.
Yeah, I agree. I like talking to people about their experiences and stuff. I got a question for you then.
Sure, shoot.
Do you have many, obviously, because you're incredibly passionate about SPX, like we all are, do you have anyone in your close circle of real life friends who are skeptical and who try
for sure.
but try to like play constant devil's advocate to you? And how do you manage that?
I have shut some of those people out.
Really?
So,
okay. I embrace it.
It depends, but it depends, because it can if they're dragging you down in terms of your vibe, then it's not worth it. It's not worth the effort.
So you're
if it's neutral, yeah. It depends on you, but I personally have learnt that I want to be in as high vibe as I can, as much time as I can.
Okay.
But obviously I don't like throw people away, but you know, you can still distance yourself a little bit if it helps, and not necessarily obviously stand your ground as well. So
so I stand my ground. I have a friend. Well, I wouldn't say stand my ground. I just really believe in what's coming out of my mouth, I guess.
Exactly. So there's no effort then. If there's no effort, it's fine. And also sometimes
it's true. It's just whatever I'm saying.
Haters can strengthen your belief. So it can actually be used as fuel. And I've had that before. Like I had a friend of mine didn't believe in my Amazon business. He was like laughing at me because I was like, mate, I was selling stickers, like kids stickers.
Yep.
But then when I started selling like, $20,000, $30,000 a month, $1,000 a day, he stopped laughing.
He stopped laughing. Yeah, he
Yeah.
started believing in you probably. If he was a good
Yeah,
friend,
well, he started
he would've
believing,
been
I
believing in
always
you.
believed that sort of thing, but I'm like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Because
You know,
I've got a close friend, and I'm talking like top 3 friend, right? And he's in the crypto market. And Connell, if you're watching, thanks for watching, because he will be. But he knows everything about SPX, but hasn't bought any yet. No, that's
What?
2 hour. Yeah,
buy some. What's his name? Connor?
Connell.
Connell, you have to buy SPX.
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
know.
find you
But
otherwise. I'll find you. I'm in Australia.
I spoke to him on the phone for 2 hours the other night, and
Yeah.
he was asking great questions, and I was giving like pretty detailed answers. We weren't in the weeds, and he's like, yeah, like that makes sense. He was caught up on because obviously I say F TradFi a lot, and he's been seeing that, and he's like, but you have a loan for a business, and no, and without traditional finance, and I'm like, no, you don't get it. I was trying to explain to him, no, I'm talking about the 500, I'm talking about this, I'm talking about that, and then once he understood, and I really gave him like 10-20 minute in-depth discussion around it, he understood. I just found that to be super interesting.
He didn't buy? Did he buy after that, or he still didn't buy?
I'm not sure. But my point is, I've told him, make an X account, and I said, we won't promote you or whatever. I'm not going to do that, but just see what these people are like, because I know he will love the community. Yeah, he just will. So I know he's going to do that.
What does he like to do? What's his interest?
Well, lots of things like sport, finance. He also runs a small business. He's a highly intelligent, human being. I think so. Yeah, I thought his questions were great. I don't think they were bad, but yeah, it's always interesting to talk to someone. I'm not saying he's a hater, but he was like asking like really good questions, and I appreciated the conversation. It wasn't like that guy's not possible. I think he can be onboarded because he's so switched on. But yeah, I just thought I'd pick your brain on that, because there are a lot of skeptics who come to me and say, oh well, again, they just laugh at you. I'm being laughed at constantly on Instagram. I don't care. I don't give a shit like what someone thinks.
I had a friend of mine who Wallet, if you're listening, he was very skeptical of crypto for so long, and he actually grabbed some SPX last year, like at the end of it in December, after me talking about it for over a year and writing a book on it and doing, I don't know, 40, 50 videos on it. And every time I saw him talk about it, he's like, fine, I'll grab some. So he grabbed a pretty good bag. It was, but obviously now it's slightly down from there. But I spoke to him yesterday. He's still okay. He's okay with it. So it's sometimes, you can wear them down, or they can see the light, and eventually, like, what I think why he bought it was because it started to go up, right? So I find a lot of people will watch something, and when it starts to go up, they get the FOMO and they want to buy.
Yeah,
but most people buying green candles, they don't understand to buy on the reds. They buy on the greens.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that over and over and over, especially with like retail, like normies, you could call them.
I think that's the most common way anyone gets onboarded. They buy into green. I think everyone buys into green when they first get in to anything. They hear about it from a friend, colleague, whatever, family member, and then bang, they buy into green. No one's sitting there watching, and never put their money on the line, and then they see a big red candle and they go, oh, I'm buying that.
That's me. I bought SPX after dropped from 1 to 600 mil.
Your experience, you're that way inclined. But then the opposite is what I was saying as well. Like of my friend Connell, who again asked great questions. I got my friend Loz, who asked great questions at the start, and he's like now involved and buys SPX and DCAs and he's an Aeon. And again, I know this is going to change his life as well, for the better. And yeah, it's just kind of cool. But like asking questions is super important, but answering them and not always just putting your walls up, I think is like, something that I'm trying to get in the habit of, at least, is like never put your walls up to someone, just in case, because you might think they're hating initially, but they're actually not. They just want to know, and you just haven't got them yet. You haven't given them what they need.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a difference if someone's just making fun of you all the time because they don't understand it or they don't want to understand it. I think that's a big difference. If they're trying to understand it, it's different.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can probably turn just about anyone, especially SPX6900 has a special sauce. And that sauce is that it's so multifaceted. You can be interested in anime, you can be interested in cars, you can be interested in, what's happening with the financial revolution. You can be interested in just about anything, and SPX covers it. Right?
Agree.
There's not many things it doesn't cover. I'm trying to think of any avenues. No, there's pretty much everything's covered, and there's always people that you'll resonate with too, because there's so many people in the community. You don't have to like everybody. You just have to like one or two of the people, follow them, and learn their stuff. And sooner or later you're gonna become an Aeon. It's inevitable.
I agree.
How long do you want to go in this episode? Because
whatever's easy for you.
All day long. No. I've got an outro set up. I made an outro for this as well. Okay. So I'm gonna chuck that on after this. I think you'll like it. It's a bit of fun.
If it's like the intro.
Not as crazy as the intro. So what did you think when you turned in that?
Yeah, I was confused. The intro was funny for a second there. I was confused. I'm not wearing a beanie. I have weekly.
Yeah. Your brain starts glitching. You're like, what the hell?
Everything went through my head. I'm like, he's playing last week's. What is he doing? But no, it was pretty funny once I realized what was going on.
Yeah. What I did is I realized because in this one I put the media, but it doesn't mute you guys, so I manually muted both of your microphones. So
yeah, so I saw that on my end.
Yeah, you didn't talk and start going, "What's happening, Jordan? What's happening?" Because that would have come over the audio and ruined it. But
that would have been funny.
Yeah,
it kind of would have been funny. Have we got any other posts to look through though? Or
we got I think 2 more tabs. So
yeah, go through the posts and yeah, sounds good.
Do you want to you take this one? This is one of your
right. So another just daily post by Murad here. But again, I bookmark things that like kind of just speak to me, I guess. So definitely worth reading this as well. But put aside their skeptic. Sorry, I can't read this word. I'm shocking at reading sometimes. Put aside their skepticism that has been forced upon them by existing systems that feed on people's greed, nihilism, and short-termism. Take the time to study SPX6900 movement and people in it. Show up daily, contribute daily, DCA as often as you can. On board and thereby help others as much as you can. In other words, persist forever. So again, strong words. Murad and Maddox, their daily posts always speak to me. Strong words, always positive. There's nothing negative. If they're speaking about negative elements in society, it's always from a positive lens as well. Super important because it's engaging. Because if you just, get on there, if I say, oh, the world's cooked, people might be like, that guy is just a doomer. The world may be cooked, but people want to find the optimism in things and positivity in their day rather than being so negative all the time. Because honestly, the news is everywhere. You got a phone, you can see murder, everything during your week. So you want to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm about to say, definitely don't watch news, guys, because it's not useful. It's not useful. The only news that I read is literally the headlines on X because they're there. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even click them. I just read the headlines.
That's a way of like getting in.
What's the random crap that the universe is putting out today in terms of news? But when I used to live with my mum, for instance, she'd every morning and night the news on the TV.
Yeah, my parents are saying that's that generation.
It is so bad for your brain. It's not good for you. It's literally putting all this negativity into, and just talking back to the quantum soup that we live in, input does actually affect output as well. So I believe reality is like a mirror of our internal state.
Yep.
So if we're feeding a positivity, it's a mirror. So it's going to keep spiraling in positive and go up.
Yep.
And same as negative. If you constantly focus on negative, you get more negative stuff happen.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that.
It's so many different ways of looking at it, but I think if you can look at it positively, why not? Like, there are negative things. Oh, we've read Munchies, Audacious. Yep. Yeah, we've gone through every tab, man. We've knocked them all out.
Cool. And just want to again just say, like Mike's post of Seb, if everyone just could retweet that as much as possible, send that viral. it's really important because if it gets in front of his eyes, Raul's eyes, the guy, he's got a lot of pull. And he's highly intelligent and respected in the community, in the crypto space and just in finance in general. So keep spamming that. If it comes across you, just retweet it.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to chuck the intro video out. Thanks so much again, Hoodish, for coming on.
No, no
really
worries,
fun,
man.
really fun time. Yeah.
Yep. And thanks to chat for coming on. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks everybody who's joined us. Maybe I'll just have a quick look at the chat. I'm still getting used to this interface. It's quite different.
I can't reply in the chat, just so you guys know.
Maddox is there. We got Talbot, Azar. We got Green, Indigo.
Saucy's there.
Audacious is here. Green, Lex, Aeon Beggar. Yeah, I'm going down now. Saucy, Tradfi, Nightmare, Blaze. Yeah, we got a bunch. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. It actually shows between 1,500 people watching just on X. I'm not sure how accurate that number is, but I'm happy with that. And then on YouTube, we've got like another 100 or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, really exciting time.
Yeah, we appreciate your support as well. We just wanted to contribute, like I mentioned last week. We just want to contribute to the Cognosphere, and if people are watching and they enjoy, that's great.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna check the outro out, and we'll see you guys next week. Stay for the outro though, because it's fun. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Peace.
Six big mind, home at DCAeon.